It's your favorite super duper mother daughter duo coming to you with all the positive vibes and helping you become exactly who you want to be. We're giving out all the good stuff on this podcast, and it's your host Takoa and Nasara. So grab your mug because it's time for tea. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying. I'm Takoa.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're going to be getting into the victim mentality. We're going to talk about how to stop being the victim and get ahead. So I'm going to get into the definition of what it means to have a victim mentality. It's an acquired personality trait in which a person tends to recognize or consider themselves as a victim of the negative actions of others. So you blame your challenges on everyone else around you and you don't take responsibility for it. That is the definition of a victim mentality. I think you had a definition as well. Could you give that to us?
Correct. I have the definition. The belief that one is always a victim, the idea that bad things will always happen to one.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like you're just attracting negative and everything is I call it the woe is me mentality.
Woe is me. Yeah. Yep. Woe is me syndrome. I call it the woe is me syndrome.
Yep. Whenever I talk to people, I say this, the woe is me.
Mm-hmm,
everything that happens, woe is me. Okay. So that's what a victim mentality is, but how do we identify if we have a victim mentality?
Well, there's some questions that you can ask. One question is, when bad things happen to you, do you take responsibility for them, or do you blame other people or the world for those responsibilities? So what part do you take when things happen in your life? So that's one of the things. If you're one of those people that are like, oh my God, it's everybody else, it's this person, it's that person, and not look at yourself and self-reflect and say, what part do I have to play in my decision, or in my in the demise, or in just what's going on in my life right now? And people with victim mentality sort of deflect it on others and not look at themselves and see what part they have to play.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things you can ask yourself is, am I taking responsibility for what happened, or is everybody else doing things to me?
Correct.
Or doing things against me?
Correct.
Is the world out to get me?
Is the world out to get me? Now, there are people and situations in their life that people have gone through things in their life that have affected them. They were victimized. But you have to realize, being victimized and having a victim mentality, meaning whatever happened to you in your past or in your life, or bad things that happen, you need to take responsibility and say, okay, it did happen, but what am I going to do now? Am I going to soak in this, or am I going to change my perspective and move forward?
Yeah.
Versus sitting in this behavior or this trait.
Mm-hmm. Like, bad things happen to everybody. It's just a matter of how you react to it, if you react at all.
If you react at all. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So good. I would say personally, one of the things that can help you with the victim mentality is if you're focused, like if you have goals, then when things are happening around you, you can kind of just shrug it off, because hey, it's the part of the process. It's not, this is my final destination. Or if you have an understanding that you're dealing with individuals, and each individual, they have their own mindsets that they believe is correct, and you're battling with that, you can kind of just you can combat it from a different perspective. If you take like the high ground, then you can look down on everything happening around you and say, hey, this isn't happening to me, this is just happening.
And people have to realize, because when I was reading and researching this writer was like, it was such good information that it was almost like, you have to realize, anything that we're going through, the universe is, God is literally letting us go through this journey for a reason and a season. So it's more so how you look at things. It's not, why am I always going through what, you have to flip that thing around and say, well, what is it that I need to be learning in this moment while I'm going through this journey, this pain, this sorrow, this frustration, this, funk.
Yeah.
So
It's
definitely changing.
an empowering mindset to know. Like, I wish I knew about victim mentality. I wish I knew about all this stuff when I was growing up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I'm a ditto with you. That I do, because and researching it and looking at it when we were younger, when we really, because it would have helped sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? But it's like now, it's never too late. So it's actually this was when we were supposed to actually learn this, because we're now open to learn it and accept it and want to do something about it. So
Yeah, and I can give an example of I had a client who they were looking at a promotion at their job, but they kind of was like, woe is me. I don't think I'll get it because I guess they worked with a bunch of like typical business people, like a bunch of white man, middle aged white man, and she's like I don't know, a young black girl. So she was like, I don't know if I'll get it, and kind of like tossing it. Everybody's like not rooting for me, and I'm like, but you didn't even try. So sometimes people let the victim mentality like drown out them from even trying things, because
correct.
they're just like, this is everything sucks. And that could probably lead you down into depression too, into that rabbit hole of depression, thinking that everything's against you and
The
the
world's
world is
against
against you.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
I talked to her and I motivated her like, hey, apply for it. What's the worst that can happen? That's like my I need a t-shirt. What's the worst that can happen? Because that's literally, I stand by that. And like probably a few weeks later, she's like, I got the promotion. And it was like, wow, that was really crazy. If you
Oh, that's
never
crazy.
tried, you wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah,
If
you
you
wouldn't have
kept
got it. You would have doubted, self-doubted yourself. You would have talked yourself out of it.
Yeah, and I watched a podcast earlier, and they were talking about what's the story you're telling yourself. So sometimes take a step out of your situation and ask, what am I telling myself? So I'm telling myself everyone's against me, this sucks, and so on and so forth. But is that really what's happening? And if that is, because sometimes we are, like you said, people do get victimized, and we are in situations that are unfair and
Yeah.
don't work out in our favor, and that we don't want to be in any longer, then you have to take the reels and get in the driver's seat and do something different, and it's unfortunate because kids can't just get up
Yeah,
and
they can't
leave
get
if
up and
they're in a
leave.
bad situation. Yeah, but you can change your mentality about it. You can reach out to people, you can talk to someone, there's always different options. If you can't do anything outside of yourself, focus on what you can do inside of yourself.
Correct.
Focus on speaking positivity to yourself, focus on not blaming everything else that's happening to you, but look at what's the lesson in here, or write it down. This is something I don't want to come in contact with ever again. This is something I won't allow. Firm your boundaries around whatever is happening, so what's
Correct.
not for you and what is for you.
Correct.
Yeah. So I wish I can go back in time and kind of like have that mental strength to say, this isn't happening to me, this is happening for me.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
happens for my good. I am in control. What's my next goal? And let's keep pushing.
Yeah. What am I supposed to be learning during this period of this disaster that's hit around me?
Girl,
What
yeah.
am I learning through the storm?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a growth thing, but yeah, I'm with you. I
Yeah,
wish I would have
because
known this
years ago,
years
because when
ago.
you don't learn through the storm, what happens? You keep
You
going
repeat
through
it.
it.
It's going to
Yep.
repeat
You
again.
keep going
Correct.
through it. And if you have that victim mentality, you never wake up. It's always the woe is me. Everything is happening to me. No one loves me. This, that, and the third. It's never, all right, let me take control of the situation finally. Let me finally start living for me. Let me finally
Correct.
start building the life that I want and seeing the things that I want to see and manifesting that in my life. So the victim mentality is definitely a downer. It's not a good vibration to have,
No.
because you're attracting negative because you're always thinking negative.
And
And
you're
I think
vibrating at a
low frequency.
low frequency. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we had talked about a podcast before that dealt with kind of like, you are what you think. What you're putting out there is what you think. And that remains the same. If you're thinking negative, if you're in that deep hole of sadness and sorrow, then you're going to keep attracting those things, and
Yeah.
you'll miss happiness because you're so
Yeah.
used to, sucks, this job, this, that, this relationship. So you have to take control.
You have to, because there's going to always be something that you can be down or feel victimized about.
Yep.
That's just the reality of life. Life is unfair. That's what it is. It's not going to be different. It's basically how you change your perspective, how you see things, how you react to it, and what you do when things come your way, you know. So
Yep.
I have a little saying too, when I was reading, it says, you have two choices. Believe that life is happening, like we just said, for you or to you. But you have two choices. You can decide whether life is happening for you. God, what are you trying to do for me? Or, oh my God, this is happening to me. Woe is me. So you have a choice.
Amen. Yeah.
Choose this day.
And so I know like some of us don't like tests. So I'll give you the answer. The better mindset to have is that life is happening for me.
Yeah,
Everything I'm
yeah.
going through is meant for me. It's building my character. It's strengthening my foundation. And like I said, take a step up and look over the situation. What's the story I'm
Mhm,
telling myself? You know, are these situations even that serious that I should be bothered or out of character about it?
mhm.
Um, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people have the victim mentality.
Yep, yep,
You know, a
yep.
lot of people have it. Do you tell us about how do you attain the victim mentality? How does that come to be?
Well, I have some symptoms. You mean some symptoms of the victim mentality?
No, so
Or
so
how?
symptom mentality comes about when you see it, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
So we talked about that too, observational learning. You
Hmm.
see it from someone and you're like, hey, they're not taking fault for anything. They're blaming it on the rest of the world. And you know what? That feels good. Um, also it comes around when through trauma. Was it trauma?
Oh, the one I was telling you about. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's fine.
okay, victim
We're on the same
mentality.
page now. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're
Yeah.
girl.
I was winging it. From what I remember, I was going to give it to him the best
You
way
should
I
have gave
could.
it to him. You should have gave it to him.
I was giving it to him.
Okay, victim mentality can usually be traced back to a childhood as a survival mechanism.
That's what it was.
Yep. Or as a learned behavior that we observe from our parents.
Yeah. Observational learning. So yeah.
Observational learning.
Boom.
We learn so much.
Boom.
The
Yep.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's a generational curse, passing down victim mentality over and over and over and over and over. And you know, and when you see those people who are so dramatic, oh my gosh, you know, they stub their toe and why, Lord, why is this table here? I can be like that sometimes too, like
You've
especially if
always
I'm
been,
like,
always.
if I excuse me,
Just
wait a minute,
like
wait a minute, hold up,
extra, you guys, extra,
hold
okay?
up. Hold up, we team me. I don't need all of that negativity. That's why. So yeah, I can be that way. I'm a, oh Lord Jesus, why melting? You know, when something happens that's bad. So I get it. You know, I get it. But you also still have to have that balance of let's go, let's get it, let's focus, let's be that
Yeah,
fighter, you know. Okay,
yeah.
I'm down for a day, like we talked about with depression. You can get down, but you have to get back up.
Get back up.
Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you feel that
Yeah.
victim mentality creeping in, you know, put on your boxing gloves and give it a bop bop bop, and then
Mm-hmm.
get back in the ring and fight to win, because that's what it's about. Because the victim, it will always be the victim as long as the victim wants to be the victim.
Victim.
Yeah. So you have to change the story, you have to change the narrative. Get into those 11 reasons you said, 11 ways, 11 symptoms of being a victim.
7 symptoms of being a victim. The apply
Boom.
is 11. 7. Okay, so I have a saying, negative habit produce negative results. Okay.
Negative equals
So
negative.
yep. So number 1 in symptoms of victim mentality, feeling powerless or helpless.
Okay.
Some people feel that they don't have control over the situation, so they don't even try to affect the outcome. So they don't even try
That
to
sucks.
change
And
anything.
that sucks. I know people in abusive relationships, they're just like, this is it. I'm stuck. I can't get out. I don't have
Yeah.
any money. I don't have this, you know, and they never really take that moment to step out.
Well, even in poverty, you still have the
Poverty.
same in poverty.
Yeah, people in
This
poverty. this is what it is. Yeah, I was
This,
talking to one of my friends and they were talking about like basically when you grow up in different neighborhoods, some of your only options are selling drugs to get money and doing things like that. And I'm like,
mhm,
those aren't the only options.
options
Those are the
and
ones that
getting
look most
stuck in a
appealing to
job.
them.
Yeah, yeah. So people's mentality, your mind is limited. You're limiting your mind. So if you limit your mind, you limit your possibilities.
Very true. But we only really know what we're exposed to, right?
Correct.
So it's like it's just a balance. You
Well,
have
y'all need
to
to get out there, go to the library, YouTube, educate
I
yourself.
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
nowadays all the information is out
there's
there. That's what I
so
said. You're
much.
only the victim if you choose to be the victim because
Mhm.
now there are ways to do everything, get out of anything, find somebody,
Find something, you
find
know.
something, So go ahead, next one.
Number two, dwelling on negativity, which we already know.
Mm-hmm.
Stinky thinking, dwelling on negativity. Woe is me. They're just stuck in the rut of their life, and that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Generating self-abuse. Okay, these are people who put themselves down. I don't deserve it. I don't just like the lady. I don't think I'm gonna get that job. I don't think I can do this. So you're always putting yourself down.
Negative self-talk.
Yep. You're not feeling confident within yourself. You're not even speaking affirmation in yourself. That whole fake it till you make it, you ain't even faking it. You just ain't doing it. So it's just
Ain't no point.
ain't no point. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, that woe is me will
Okay.
kick your butt.
So remaining stuck in the past. And so, and we know this is a big one for a lot of people. Some people refuse to let go of disappointment. Let me tell you, I had people that I worked with that they were telling me the same stories years back, co-workers. Like they're reliving it like it just happened today. And they're like, girl, that man left her about 20 years ago. She still talks about like it's just they it's for me, it's also attention seeking. So blaming the world. So some people blame scapegoat for their difficulty. So they're blaming everybody else for things that is going on with their life.
I ain't asked to be in America.
I ain't actually be alive. I ain't actually be born. I heard it all. So, but this is some of the people's outlook on things. Being consumed by problems. Some people wear their problems and as a badge of honor. So some people like being the victim. This draws that attention to them.
Pity.
This is who they are. This is what they know. This is their character now. This is their identity. So they are proud that they had this problem because this is something that they can, when there's a crowd of people and you're conversing, they can talk about
Pull it
this.
out the bag.
Girl, let me
Pull
tell
it
you what
out
happened
the
to me.
bag.
And so that draws that attention. And so what people want, oh, poor baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. So they want that. That's attention seeking behaviors.
Oh,
All
poor
right. The
Sneaky.
next, we I see myself, and only now that I can self-reflect on certain things that I saw myself doing that a few times. Sad, pathetic self.
Pity card.
Attention seeking self. You need to get your life together, girl. That's what I tell myself. Feeling cheated. Some people are envious and resentful that the world isn't fair. And the world ain't fair. The world wasn't fair when you was born. The world ain't gonna be fair when you die. Guess what, guys? We live in this world. We got to make the best of what we have.
Because ain't
And
nobody thinking about you.
no, and no one's not thinking about you, but they're thinking about you, but they're not going to be consumed with your sorrow because of everybody has something that's going on in their life. It's basically how you attack this thing, how you attack the things that are going on in your life, what decisions you're making for your day to day. Are you going to be a victim or are you going to be victorious?
Hey, I like that.
That's your
Victim or
choice.
victor. I like
Yep.
that.
Victim or victor. That's your choice. and it is choose this day. So, but those are the choices you have. So, you know, and then you have to understand also, because I know a lot of victim people. People get tired. I'm gonna tell you all the truth. Can I be truthful?
Take a big gulp, like bless they
Hold on a minute.
souls.
Miss Nisa got something to say. Miss Nistera got something to say. People get tired of hearing your stories over and over again. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. People are going to be looking at you, because I look at them, either piss or get off the pot. Like, we need to get over this story that you've been telling people for the same thing for 20 years and get a new story. Okay. We want to see victory in your story and not a victim. Okay. So I'm just gonna let you know the truth. I'm gonna tell you what everybody else is saying, but they ain't saying it to you.
Yeah, I remember I used to have like 2 to 3 people call me every day after they got off work because I ain't got no job. You know, I work for myself, so my hours are different. So every time around like 4 or 5 o'clock, my phone would just blow up, and people would call me, and they would call me with the same story about how work was getting on their nerves, how their significant other was acting crazy, how their mama acting up, how the kids bothering them. And after a while, I was like, you know what? Y'all can't call me no more.
But
After
it's
5 o'clock,
truth.
I'm off. Y'all can't call me because y'all talking
It's
about the
truth.
same thing. And you know, I'm a
Same
person, I give
thing.
advice. Like, I'm a life coach at heart. I'm a coach at heart. I want you to
Mhm.
win. And when you're not winning every day and you keep talking about the same thing, it breaks my heart. It makes me feel like genuinely sad. And I get down about that. And I just was
Mhm.
like, I can't keep feeding into this. Y'all gotta go be the victim somewhere else. Cause I don't y'all gotta put that pity card back in your pocket. It ain't working on me no more.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
I'm just telling the truth. I'm just putting it out there. Just
yep.
me.
And if you are with somebody who's a victim, they will literally drain you,
Yeah.
not taking the blame for anything, pushing everything on somebody else. You better watch out because one day it might be your fault. So you might be the one to blame. You better be careful. Or don't be surprised when they switch that thing up on you and
Hmm.
give you the look. Well, you did, blah, blah, blah. So
You're like,
it's
what?
just, it's what they do.
So
It's
yeah.
what
So just just
they
just just
do.
take heed. Just putting it out there, guys. Love you. But the truth is the truth.
There's some victims out here. There's some victims in this house. There's some victims in this house. All right. So let's get into, I think we got about 10 minutes. Let's get into how to stop being a victim. What are the do's for that?
Okay. So I have 11 ways to escape victim mentality.
There's some victims in this house.
Number one, own your life. Own your life. Own it. Okay. Accept responsibility for your past, present, and future. Don't outsource that responsibility to others. Woo, that's good. That was some
That's
good meat.
juicy. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Some good tea.
Hmm. Be positive. Don't we say that? Be positive.
Mhm.
Focus on controlling your negative thinking. And it's controlling, and you have the power to control your thoughts.
Mhm.
Um, Mentally limit the times that you judge, complain, mistrust, or are jealous of others. So manage your mind. Get control of that thing for me, please. Believe in yourself, self-confidence. That's the building block to a lot of things that a lot of our shortcoming is self-confidence, self-love, reassurance. So self-confidence, believing in yourself, okay? Look in the mirror. Don't compare yourself to others. Um, it only breeds envy and resentment. So again, it's believing yourself, love yourself, love yourself.
Yep.
Count your blessings, gratitude.
Gratitude.
Huh.
Gratitude is the best attitude.
Yep, gratitude, simple, just like that. Be thankful just because. Okay, you can find, even if you're having a bad day, and all of us have a bad day, bad week, bad things just happen, you can find one or two things to be like, you know what, I'm thankful though for this or that. It might be hell going around me, but I'm gonna find something to be thankful for. Gratitude, important. Create good habits. Okay, so You identify your bad habits, which is the negative, the stinky thinky, and create good habits. So create some positive habits. Anything you got to say about that one, baby?
No, that sounds
No, you're
good.
good.
It
Okay.
sounds like it's all mindset.
Yeah, awesome.
I like to tell people,
100%.
yep,
Go ahead.
just as much as you work out your body, you have to work out your mind. We live in a world where our mind just wanders wherever it wants to go, and we rarely reel it back in and take control over what it's thinking, what it's
Yeah.
planning, what it's doing. We don't train our subconscious. We just let things sit in there and we never question it. And you
Mhm.
have to take control over your mind. That is the key for everything.
Because your
So
mind's crazy. It has a mind of it. Your
I
mind
say
has a
that
mind of its
all the
own.
time. Like, I do
You
not want to
better.
be up there. I do
I'm
not
like,
want to be in
ooh.
that brain. It's a crazy place. Thinking some crazy things. So, but you have to, you can take control and you can train your mind. And it's not like a overnight thing. If you have a victim mentality, start thinking, why do I have this? We looked at it's related to observational learning. Who did I get this from? Watch our episode on generational curses and how things are passed down.
Mhm.
If you have it and it's like a survival method, why do I feel as though I have to be the victim and put the blame on everyone else? What can I start taking control of today? You
And
know?
if things happen to you in your past, which certain people are victim of situations, don't dwell on where you were in your past. Move forward past that pain and get to healing. Okay. So don't
Yep.
stay stuck on
Yeah.
yesterday's pain. Move towards the healing process
The
and
healing
be
and
the
the blessings
victor
of today.
through this situation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
And
not, go
go ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. You go.
We're not saying, it was wrong, don't be a victim, because certain people went through or had gone through some stuff. We're saying don't get stuck in that mentality.
Mhm. Yeah. And don't feel as though you're alone. A lot of times, if you
Mm-mm.
have gone through something, some type of trauma, people think like, oh, no one can relate. I'm all by myself. I know I went through that personally.
Mhm.
And holding that stuff in isn't good for you. So if you are mentally battling with something, speak up and talk to somebody about it. And you'd be surprised, ask God to bring the person in your life or the people in your life that are there so that you can vent to. And you'll be surprised how often people can relate to situations, or they can say, oh, I've been through something like that and this is what I did,
Yep.
or they'll speak positivity into you. So, if you are battling with going through something and you've been victimized, then you can seek help, even if it's a therapist or, like I said, a friend or a person
Mhm.
or a coach. Seek help and get them to talk you through it and to see what's next. Let's get focused and get a plan, because I think with anything that you're going through, if you have focus, if you have a plan, if you have motivation, then that thing will no longer hold you back,
Yeah.
because you're moving, and things are meant to hold us back. Everything in our lives is trying to keep us in a place of being held back, of hurt, of stagnancy. But if you can shed off that layer of hurt and shed off that pain and get past it and
Get
clear
past
your
the pain.
mind and take control of your mind and say, hey, we're going to do this, this, and this,
Mhm.
then you'll be in such a great place. And I will be
Mhm.
honored to see your glow up story, because
Yep.
that's what it's all about. It's all about the glow up.
Yep. How I got over. So yes, we want to see you overcome, and you can.
Mm-hmm.
You really can. And it's only baby steps. Okay.
Yep.
So
Step by step.
strive for small wins. That's the next one. Doing little things like we just said to get to the bigger picture of getting out of this victim mentality. Little affirmation, feeling good about yourself, reassessing yourself, reassessing your mind, like Takoa said, looking at what your mind is saying and questioning your mind. Is that real? Because
Mm-hmm.
your mind will lie to you. Is that real? Am I thinking real, or am I making this stuff up? So you need to question yourself. You're not crazy. Question yourself. Meet challenges head on. So meet the challenges head on. Prove you can overcome tough obstacle. That's building self-confidence. Proving you can overcome certain things in life builds your self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
make you feel good about yourself. And the more you feel good about yourself, the easier it is for you to strive towards your purpose, because you're building you up where it's been knocked down. Okay. Forgiving yourself. And so as human beings, as women, men, this is one of the hardest things is we are so hard on ourselves as humans, as people. I know for myself, I have a high expectation for myself. So when I do something that I disagree or did something that I might think that was less than, I beat myself up. So you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for any and all things, because you're human and you're allowed to make mistakes. We're human. Let go of grudges. Let go of seeking retaliation and being angry. Let go of that, because this is only killing you.
Yeah.
So the other people don't even know you're mad, but you're holding on to this grudge and you're destroying yourself. So let go. Avoid, this is the last one, avoid becoming dependent. No, this isn't avoid becoming dependent, I'm sorry, and don't make yourself a victim.
Okay.
So these are the 11.
Good. So take control and don't be the victim.
Don't be the victim. Don't be the victim. And again, you know, I can now look at my life, and now that I have the ability to self-reflect, that took time for you to sit back. Now I can, if I do something silly like that, I can see it. And I'm like, and I start questioning, now, why did you do that? What are you lacking that you need attention? Because it's attention-seeking behaviors. What are you lacking that you need this attention? Why are you doing this? So definitely start self-reflecting, look at why you're doing this. What is it that you're lacking? What is it that you need? And work on yourself.
Sounds good. All right, y'all. We're reaching our 30-minute mark. Be great. Be great. Be great.
Don't be a victim. Be victor.
Yep. Don't be a victim. Be a victor. I think that's great. That might be the title.
That's good.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Until next time. Bye.
That's a wrap of today's episode. And once again, this is the podcast, Time for Tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying and giving out weekly doses of some good stuff for your spirit. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Bye.